We know in our common experience that to celebrate, to commemorate a birthday is an important thing. It recalls the moment of the origin of a particular person. They're coming into this world. It recalls and brings to mind for us those moments that we have shared with that person along the journey and course of life and relationship, the ups and the downs that have been present in that, along that walk. And birthdays, in a certain sense, encapsulate. They're a moment in which we stop and pause and celebrate and remember the very essence of who that person is. We give thanks for the gift of that person's life, and we look back, we giving thanks for what has happened, and we look forward to what we hope and pray will be further years of goodness, of grace, of joy, of friendship, and the like. And it is today, on celebrating Mary's birthday, if you will, the Nativity, this liturgical celebration of the Nativity of Mary, that we pause and we call to mind as a people of faith the great gift that she is in God's plan of salvation. That Mary, who even before her very birth had been foreshadowed, had been forecast by the prophets through God's plan of salvation, as we hear from the first reading today from Micah, that God's great word reaching his people, that there will be a Savior that will be raised up. And it will, that very act of salvation in sending forth a ruler, a Savior, will be something beyond expectation. Majestic shall be his name. He shall remain, for his greatness shall reach the ends of the earth. It is indeed Mary who plays into that unfolding plan of salvation. And as we hear from the gospel today, how Mary is brought together in family with Joseph and is then found with child. Indeed, that moment at which Mary stands ready to bring forth the Savior, God's gift of salvation to the world. As we celebrate Mary today, this moment of her birth and indeed her whole life, we of course give thanks to God for the gift that she is. But I think we also might take into consideration how she found herself within the plan of God. How she, from the very beginning, and throughout her entire life, she found herself situated and placed within God's plan. That indeed, all of the points of reference for Mary throughout her life, her journey, her trials, her joys, all of it referred to God's plan. What is God doing in my life? What has God called me to do as the mother of the Savior? Indeed, for us too, we are situated within God's plan. Maybe, my friend, sometimes it doesn't seem like that in the chaos and the confusion, the commotion and the craziness. But we indeed are a people situated within God's plan of salvation. Today, let us find ourselves once more in that plan of salvation as the Lord calls us, as the Lord works through us, as the Lord brings about salvation and grace through us and in us, around us. As we look to Mary, who is the perfect model of one who said yes to Christ, who said yes to God's plan of salvation.